A serious question has been posed by many of our viewers. What would happen if we gathered all the nuclear weapons in the world into one massive pile and detonated them simultaneously? Surprisingly, we struggled to find a reliable source that could adequately respond to this inquiry. Therefore, we convened a group of scientists to help us calculate the potential outcomes and address this critical scientific quandary once and for all. At present, there are 15,000 nuclear weapons on our planet. The United States and Russia each possess roughly 7,000, while France, China, the UK, Pakistan, India, Israel and North Korea collectively hold around 1,000. But just how much destructive capability does this arsenal truly represent? Let's put these figures into a more relatable context. Globally, we have around 4,500 cities or urban areas with populations of at least 100,000. Since some cities are larger than others, we can estimate that an average of 3 nuclear bombs would be required to completely annihilate one city. With our stockpile of nuclear weapons, this means we could obliterate every city on Earth, potentially resulting in the deaths of over 3 billion people, approximately half of the world's population, instantly. But what occurs if we amass all 15,000 bombs into one large pile and press the button? Let's visualize this pile situated in the Amazon rainforest, showcasing that nature isn't as untouchable as it may seem. This accumulation of warheads could fit into a compact warehouse. Each typical US warhead has the explosive power of 200,000 tons of TNT. Thus, 15,000 warheads would amount to an astonishing equivalent of 3 billion tons of TNT. To contextualize this, it's enough energy to reconstruct the entire island of Manhattan, rebuilding every skyscraper and building with stacks of TNT. The closest comparison we can draw to the sheer energy present here is that of a volcano. One of the most catastrophic volcanic eruptions in history occurred in 1883 on Krakatoa. This eruption was so intense that it destroyed 70% of the island and its surrounding areas, leading to the death of tens of thousands of individuals. Its repercussions were felt globally for days afterward. The energy from our nuclear pile dwarfs the Krakatoa eruption, being approximately 15 times greater. So let's finally initiate the explosion. 3, 2, 1. In an instant, a fireball stretching 50 kilometers across disintegrates everything in proximity, generating a blast wave that flattens 3,000 square kilometers of forest. All life within a 250-kilometer radius would ignite. The explosion sound would resonate around the globe, with the pressure waves circling the Earth multiple times over weeks. Millions of tons of incinerated debris are propelled into the atmosphere, and the mushroom cloud reaches the stratosphere, pressing against the edge of space. Once the chaos subsides, a crater about 10 kilometers wide remains at the center of the most extensive wildfires seen in millennia, raging across South America and devastating both forests and cities. This is where the grim reality sets in. Highly radioactive materials will rapidly annihilate living organisms, rendering a vast area around the crater uninhabitable, while hundreds of kilometers downwind face severe ramifications. Much of the radioactive fallout will rise high into the atmosphere, drifting across the planet. The quantity of radioactive waste in the environment would double globally, which, while not leading to civilization's end, may result in a rise in cancer rates for a time. Certain particles may linger at the edge of space for years, instigating a nuclear winter which could lower worldwide temperatures by several degrees for an extended period. For those in South America, particularly Brazil, this explosion proves disastrous. The Amazon rainforest faces obliteration, which is far from ideal. Nonetheless, humanity continues to survive. But what if we were to detonate even more nuclear devices? Let's entertain the scenario where humanity exploits every bit of uranium available on Earth to construct as many nuclear bombs as feasible. Industry estimates suggest there are about 35 million tons of uranium in the Earth's crust, ample enough to sustain human civilization for over 2,000 years or to produce millions of nuclear warheads. Hypothetically, let's say we create a pile equivalent to the yield of 10 billion Hiroshima bombs, forming a cube 3 kilometers high, embodying the same energy as the asteroid impact that led to the extinction of the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Except this is nuclear energy. 3, 2, 1. Our accumulation detonates, producing a fireball reaching so high that it can be seen from half of South America, with sufficient force to create a crater 100 kilometers wide. Bedrock equivalent to entire mountain ranges vaporizes instantaneously, while thousands of tons of debris are launched away at such incredible speeds that some of it escapes into space. Some fragments leave Earth forever, but most return as scorching, burning debris, heating the atmosphere to extreme temperatures and resulting in the death of numerous large animals, while causing firestorms to erupt globally. The Earth's crust reverberates like a bell, shaken by earthquakes that surpass any recorded in history, obliterating cities across the globe, while hurricane-force winds level every tree in South America and ignite wildfires that consume the continent. The rich hydrocarbons in the Amazon combust to create ash that fills the atmosphere, blocking sunlight from reaching the surface and plunging global temperatures to near freezing levels. This global winter could linger for decades, leading to the extinction of every large animal species, including humans. While we could also mention that radioactive fallout would blanket every part of the planet, it becomes somewhat irrelevant at this point. This results in humanity's extinction event. Astronauts on the International Space Station may catch a breathtaking view for a time, but it's plausible that the shower of debris hurled into orbit could jeopardize the station's safety. Those fortunate enough to find shelter in bunkers or submarines deep in the ocean may survive the longest, but eventually they will exhaust their food supplies and be forced to venture out in search of resources. What they will discover is a charred, frigid and radioactive wasteland. Meanwhile, the Earth remains indifferent to the plight of human civilization. After just a few million years, the scars from these cataclysmic explosions will have healed and life will flourish once again, arguably more vibrantly than during humanity's existence. In conclusion, while the thought of detonating all nuclear weapons simultaneously is terrifying, it serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power humanity holds. It is crucial to continue efforts towards disarmament and to ensure such a scenario remains purely hypothetical.